Today's video is going to be about my top 10 overall in the world, April 2023. Now this thing could change a lot. You got some big matches coming. Here's who I think the top 10 are today. So we're fortunate right now to be in a time where there's a lot of matches going on, a lot of East versus West matches, a lot of super heavyweight action. So I've been seeing a lot of people do their top 10 rankings where they think people sit right now in the overall. Now, my list is going to be a little controversial.
Yeah, no, that's right.
It's going to be based on performances, maybe some rumor mill, and just my opinion. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to rank these people. And in certain instances, I'm going to think certain people should be further, but I can only go by their past performances, so I can't put them there. We're going to start off number 10 on my list. I'm going to go ahead and give you a little spoiler. There are no heavyweights in this list. These are all super heavyweights. I currently think the top 10 in the world are all super heavyweight competitors. Number 10, Revaz. Revaz has had some impressive performances. You know, he looked good against me. He looked good against Derek Smith. He keeps getting bigger, stronger. He did lose to Morozov, which Morozov's in my top 10 as well. You'll see him shortly. But he's also been doing some heavy training. He's back to form. He's back to size. He's getting bigger than ever. And he did recently do some cheat curls that matched Dennis Plinkoff's all-time world record for what the video showed. So I'm putting Revaz in at number 10. Revaz is a threat to pretty much anyone, I think. His long lever, his big hand, the dude's bad. Number 9. This guy was arguably conversation for number 1, number 2 in the world for a while. COVID, a few different things happened, didn't get to see him. And then when he did come out, he didn't have the best performances. But I still think this guy's top 10 for sure. And he may even be able to beat some people that I have ranked above him. VITALY LALETIN. VITALY went to war with Dave Chaffee. Dave Chaffee's on this list as well. He didn't do great against Czar. I'm going to tell you, Czar's not on my list because he just recently tore his bicep. I don't know how severe the injury was. I've seen some videos of him back training, but Czar's not in my top 10 because of that reason. But I got VITALY sitting at 9. I think VITALY is a threat to pretty much anyone. An in-form VITALY LALETIN, very dangerous man. So I'm putting VITALY at number 9. The next spot is probably the most controversial of the entire ranking because of all the fans and followers and lovers that he has, right? This guy gets a lot. But I can only rank him as high as 8 because of his past performances. He's looked very good. So he beat me, he beat John, he lost to LEVAN, he beat Prudnik, and he looked amazing against Sanders. But Prudnik and Sanders are heavyweight pullers. Where does he fare against the crop of super heavyweights? We're gonna find out very soon. I honestly think he's probably gonna beat GENADI. But until then, I can't rank him above GENADI. That puts Devon Larratt at number 8. That being said, I think he's going to beat GENADI. I think he would beat Jerry. I don't know how the Dave match would go. I still don't know. Which one I want to see. Devon's super dangerous, especially pro format, 6-round, best of 5, whatever. He bleeds his opponents. Unless there's a strength gap like we saw with LEVAN, and he gets in the match at all, you're pretty much going to make him the favorite. But until he gets a super heavyweight victory, the highest that I can currently rank him is number 8. Coming in at number 7, the one and only Dave Chaffee, easy money. And I'm ranking that because of his amazing performance against VITALY LALETIN. That's probably the most heart I've seen Dave have, and he looks spectacular. He's pulling Revaz in like, I don't know, a month, maybe 5 weeks. And I just told you Revaz, I had him ranked at number 10. We got Dave sitting at number 7. These rankings could be completely out the window very soon. Devon could move way up. Revaz could beat Dave. The whole thing switches. But right now, I think Dave Chaffee deserves to be in the number 7 spot. He's a bad dude. He looked great against GENADI. He looked great against Morozov. And then he wasn't able to pull out those last 3 rounds. But the way he pulled against VITALY LALETIN, you got to give the man props. Showed a lot of heart. Was impressive. Saw him go to a bench press. And then he looked really good against ERMES. Like, I had picked ERMES to win that match. So I thought ERMES would win more convincingly. And then to see Dave put up his good fight. He lost 3-0, but he was in it. Like, he was in that match. So I've got Dave sitting at number 7. Holding down the number 6 spot before we get into the top 5, KVIKVINIA. GENADI is a warrior. He's always has been. Back in the day, 15 years ago, before I was a Kings mover, there were so many similarities to the two of us. We would get in the match, we'd stop the match, and we would just look out the crowd and we'd let people know it's not over. We're in this thing. That guy's just gotten bigger and stronger since then. It's fun to watch his personality show through social media. He's having a good time. This back and forth with Devon is very entertaining. He might go to beat Devon. I have Devon as the favorite, but if there's a strength gap and Devon can't put the brakes on him, GENADI's going to run over him. But I've got GENADI sitting at number 6 currently. All right, guys, before we get to the top 5, a little love for my brand partners, Nine Line Apparel, constantly giving back to the community with veterans and first responders. They're amazing. Check out this video. Holding down the number 5 spot, in my opinion, currently, is Jerry CADORETTE. Do I think there are people that I've already mentioned that could beat Jerry? Yes, I do. But until they do, we have to give Jerry props. He's had 2 matches back. He's won them both. Very ugly. It's been ugly. Dude's had to fight so hard to win those matches, but he did. He did what it took to win. He currently holds the East versus West super heavyweight championship. Jerry's a bad dude. His bench press is problematic for pretty much anybody across the table from him. If you cannot commit pushing him sideways before he gets set, you're in for a war. And he proved that versus GENADI. He proved it versus Georgie. Looks amazing. And I think he just keeps getting stronger. I mean, he's old too. Like, he's my age, like 50. So for him to keep performing the way he is very impressive. Number 5 for me, Jerry CADORETTE. Now, this is where people are going to give me some shit, probably. Number 4. He's only had 1 match back. But I think it was more impressive than Devon against John. I think Dennis beat John better than Devon beat John. Now, is Devon better now than he was when he pulled John? Probably. A lot of people are looking at Devon like he's massive, he's a freak. He's getting stem cells, so he's got the stem cell version. But Dennis did control John Brzezinski everywhere. I knew Dennis was going to be dangerous once he had a Kings move. Open top row. His ability to back pressure, his biceps are some of the strongest in the world. His pronation, his hand. He's arm wrestling smart. He's arm wrestling very patient, and he has endurance. He looks good. Every time you've seen somebody practice with him, even when we saw Czar would crack, boom, they're out of gas, and then Dennis was controlling. Dennis and Plenkov. And I'm only putting him at 4 because we've only seen him arm wrestle once. He may be higher. But Dennis and Plenkov, always great to see Dennis back in action. Super excited. We actually have Alexei Vovoda come back too. He hasn't done anything, so can't rank him. Have Vovoda come back in this thing. Exciting times for arm wrestling right now. Now, this 3rd spot, the guy that I think holds down number 3, gonna probably catch a ton of shit for this one too, because this is basically just on pictures. Now, he looked really good. He did look good. He beat Dave Chaffee. He beat Revaz convincingly, but he's the Terminator. I mean, my gosh, Morozov is a freak. So we watch him do crazy lifts. He's just massive, 6'5" frame, 300 plus pounds. Makes claims he's going to beat LEVAN. I think we're going to find out this summer where he's at. I mean, I think that's his next match. But Morozov, ARTYOM Morozov, bad dude. Why did I put him ahead of Dennis? I think he might be too fast. I think he might be too explosive. I think his arm might be too long. I think Morozov's a real threat for anyone in the world right now. Super excited to see him pull. Like the young kid a lot. Like I said, he's young, he's strong, he's just determined, fearless. Morozov, bad dude. Number 2, well, hell, you have to rank this guy number 2. He just gave LEVAN the best match LEVAN's ever had. Now, I was so impressed. ERMES GASPARINI is one of the best technical top row arm wrestlers ever. He's got great transitional press. But we saw that dude fight from a horrible disadvantage. Completely compromised. Committed with his structure, his bone, his frame, everything. Bent wrist press, went for it. I mean, made LEVAN even look better than LEVAN is. And some people might disagree because LEVAN had to fight. LEVAN did not just destroy his opponent. He had to fight, but he had to arm wrestle. And he showed the skill set that he has. ERMES brought out the best in LEVAN, in my opinion. So until we see that match again, and until we see some of the other guys come up to try to, go for that number 2 spot, number 1 spot, ERMES for me sets in the number 2 spot overall in the world currently. Now he's a massive individual right now. He's 6'2", 285, 290 pounds. He's huge. And people don't realize how big of a man that is because he's across the table from a 6'3", 6'3 and a half, 380 pound man. LEVAN SAGINASHVILI, the king of the mountain, the Mount Everest, the top dog. I mean, who's going to beat him? Who's going to take him out? Who's going to dethrone LEVAN? I think the next guy who gets a shot at him is MOROZOV. A lot of people are saying the match because of ERMES versus LEVAN that Jerry CADORETTE would have the perfect style. I completely disagree with that. I think Jerry gets hurt badly in that match. And I'll tell you why. It's no disrespect to Jerry. Jerry's a bad dude. But unless Jerry can match that back pressure and side pressure and stop the match, then commit to the shoulder, I do not see it as the lane at all available to anyone in the world to go towards LEVAN with a bent wrist press and force LEVAN into a wedge top row and try to pin him. I don't think it's possible. I think he pushes directly through you. Now, if you match back pressure like ERMES did, you match him, you tie him up, you make him commit, and you come in on that bicep once it's slightly exposed, it doesn't have that tight angle, yes, it looks good. I don't see Jerry having that in his arsenal. I think Jerry's committed to this bent wrist. Now, Jerry does have a king's move. Jerry is the one who initially injured these fingers in me right now. Messed my ulnar nerve up back in 2007 after the National Arm Wrestling League. We were pulling on the practice table and I was turning him in. He went to Kings and it popped something. I couldn't feel my fingers, hadn't felt them until having surgery recently. But it's an ugly pronation Kings move top row, and I don't think you can do that to LEVAN. And he definitely doesn't have access to it in a strap. So right now, I don't think we can argue. LEVAN is the man. Some people say Dennis is going to be able to beat him. An informed Dennis, a prime Dennis, maybe. But all the things that Dennis has, LEVAN has. Dennis has a huge hand. LEVAN has a huge hand. Dennis has huge arms. LEVAN has huge arms. I think LEVAN's probably a better technical arm wrestler. Dennis has got a lot more experience in Supermatch format. I would say that, except LEVAN's been crushing it. He's undefeated in Supermatch format. I don't know, man. That's my top 10 currently. Let's go back over them. Number 10, Revaz. Number 9, VITALY LALETIN. Number 8, No Limits, Devon Larratt. Number 7, Dave Chaffee. Number 6, GENADI KVIKVINIA. Number 5, Jerry CADORETTE. Number 4, Dennis Plinkoff. Number 3, Morozov. Number 2, ERMES. Number 1, LEVAN SAGINASHVILI. Leave your comments in the description. Let me know what you think. How accurate do you think this is? Do we get to see some changes here at East versus West coming up? Or am I on point? Do I know a little bit about what I'm talking about? Who knows? Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell for notifications.